Hey kids, welcome to another episode of Glen Yaps. We have a new addition to the family of musicians toys today in my wonderful studio. We picked up one of these. And you may think, wow, it's got a Gibson Les Paul, but it's actually not a Gibson Les Paul. This is a copy, counterfeit copy. I was in contact with a friend of mine who had it, bought it, and wanted to part with it, so I acquired it. These are coming from China. I don't know if this one's from China. There's no way to tell. But they're counterfeiting guitars. The Gibson logo's on it. It looks like a Gibson Les Paul, but it is not. But I liked it, and the price was right. So I wasn't going to buy it. I had other plans for it. Basically, I was going to give it away for a charity thing, and then I thought, well, because it's an illegal copy, that wouldn't go over very well. So I said, okay, well, I'll buy it, and then the seller and I made a deal that the money would go to charity. So that's what we did. So, and the guitar is in my collection. What I'm going to do with this, I'm just going to hot rod it. And it's beautiful. Nothing wrong with it, just by looking at it. Sounds good. There's no issues with it. Now, how do you tell the difference? Well, electronics for one. But I took this apart, and actually the electronics are like big pots for the volume things. I don't have any fade. I have the same cranked, and no issues, no feedback, no harmonic weirdness. It actually sounds great. Tuning pegs they all look Gibson, but we know they're not. So they've counterfeited even making the deluxe tuning pegs, I would imagine. So there's ways to tell, like the writing is a bit big on the treble mark right here. The electronics, this here bridge, it's got slots for screws for a standard screwdriver, which the Gibsons aren't like that. I mean, this looks authentic, but I believe on the Gibson these are a bit smaller, and the knobs I think are a little bit more flanged. I mean, I had one years ago, and I'll be honest, the quality of the Les Paul that I had years ago was horrible. I didn't like it. It's when they were going through their didn't care attitude and their don't care phase, and they lost a lot of their fans because of it. So why did I snag this? I basically wanted to hot rod it. Right now it plays great. I use it on the amp upstairs, which is a smaller Vox, and it sounds great on that, and it's great for songwriting. Will it be my main guitar? No, but there's nothing wrong with this. I watch videos online with these copies. A lot of them call them Chibsons from China, so just put the C in there for instead of G for Gibson, so Chibsons, China. And the Gibson snobs, will cut the living shit out of this, but the frets are great. Look all the way down. I don't have any sharp edges. Seems to stay in tune. Plays fantastic. Action's great. I did a bit of a setup on it because suit my liking, because I like to chicken pick a bit. And for the most part, I love it for what it is. I paid $300 for it, and there's nothing wrong with $300 for an electric guitar. Believe me, I'm old. I remember the crap that used to come out in the 70s and the 80s. There was junk back then. These, well, you might have the odd one that's junk, but I kind of like it. This one actually is fine. Finish is beautiful. Ebony fretboard, and you know, it's got the Gibson inlay on it, so you can't pass it off as that. But they really tried, because look at even have a Gibson sticker on there. And I took the back off, and it's got big pot, good quality pots in it. Like I say, it's no issues with it. So I mean, some guys, I watch their videos and it's like, oh, never play that live and all that. Shut up. For $300, it's a good guitar for just getting out of the gates. Most of the people cutting these guitars down, I watch their videos, they can barely play anyways. You know, they might have a stack of real Les Pauls behind, but they can't play. So I don't get it. But so, and I'm a drummer, and I'm going, I love playing guitar just because it's fun, and I do it for songwriting, but I'm not out to be a virtuoso guitar player myself. So all I'm saying is these guitars for $300 can't really go wrong. So I mean, I kind of had it presented to me in front of me, so it wasn't like I ordered one special online like some of these sites you can buy them there, but they're all over the place, just like Les Pauls. There's Les Pauls all over the place. So, and I'm not going to spend $7,000 for a Gibson. That's just nuts. For me to write songs in my basement, nah, not going to happen. So then they were saying, well, you know, when you get one of these, you get home, you have to change all the electronics, and it's like, why? This thing sounds fine. So add a pedal. If you want to change the pickups, fine. But I see guys, friends of mine, that buy these brand new Les Pauls, and what do? They change the pickups. So they spend, you know, $35,000 to $7,000 on a Les Paul, and what do? They change the pickups. So you're not getting what you want either. So every guitar you can modify it to make it your own. I mean, Van Halen made one out of scrap parts. So it's all what you do with it. Have fun with it. So for me, action's fine, the neck is fine, it plays fine. The tones, I'm a G&L. I've got, you know, authentic G&L and Fender guitars, so this is a different beast for me. But I do have an Epiphone Les Paul, and quite frankly, I like this one better. It feels better, plays better. Sound is slightly different. The Epiphone, I'm hit and miss on the sound. This one you know, it's a bit better, I think. But I do love the neck. Neck's great on this for what I do. Got 10s on here right now. anyways, it is what it is. It's one of those deals, you know what you're getting. You buy these things online, they're counterfeit. You know they're counterfeit. So basically it's a counterfeit guitar. You're buying a counterfeit guitar. They're illegal. Gibson doesn't seem to be wanting to stop them. It's probably impossible to stop them. But they are counterfeit. They got the Gibson name on them. There was a rumor that Epiphone was actually making them. I don't know how true that is. But Epiphone's one of the licensed legal copies. But obviously they don't put Gibson on the headstock. They put Epiphone, and it's a different headstock. But that's one of the authorized clones of the Les Paul. But you know what you're buying. You know, if you buy it online, you have problems with it and you want to return it, good luck. You're buying from a crook. So you get what you pay for. I think it's, I mean, for the labor to do it, and for what you get, it's a good looking guitar. Plus I got a case with it for $300. I'm not out anything. So what I might do is modify it with different pickups. I mean, the volume pots are fine in it. I haven't had any issues with it. And I don't know much about these selectors here, if that makes a difference. I mean, guys talk about phasing these, and I've never really worked on Les Paul type pickups. I've always just kind of worked on the Fender ones, like in my modified Mexican Strat there, which has got USA pickups in it and a bunch of other goodies to mod it all up. I'm totally happy with the neck and the body on that. It plays fantastic. But I do have USA ones, just not an actual Les Paul anymore. I didn't like it, to be honest. I actually wasn't going to buy this one either. It was supposed to be a kind of a giveaway thing for charity, and then we just kind of went, well, because it is an illegal copy, that probably wouldn't look good. So I ended up buying it as a wall hanger, and we bought a legit guitar to give away. So it just worked out great. So it's going to be my rat rod, we'll say. I'm going to modify this thing into some type of beast that's got probably a more dialed in sound to what I like. Feel wise, it doesn't need anything. I love the neck, it's fine. Gotta get used to this, because my hand, like I like to chicken pick, and the spacing is different. It's just a new beast, I just have trouble switching guitars and stuff, just because the span and the way the pickups are, and yeah, so it's like totally adjusting to a new toy. I can find my palm is going to get irritated by that bridge, but it's like drums. I'm a drummer, so drummers, if you're old like me, you would remember the 60s and the 70s where Japanese drums were coming in droves, and they all look beautiful. They look fantastic, actually, and they were made out of inferior woods. And then the odd time they would make one that they would throw in the batch that was like fantastic, and it would be like this magical drum set that was amongst all these clones, right? It's no different than today. And I have a few of those drum sets where they went nuts and went with good mahogany, and they went with maple reinforcing hoops. I've got two of these kits, and they put them under mysterious names, but they were manufactured by the major brands at the time, which were like Tama, Pearl, and Yamaha, and they were imported. So most of them were cheap drums, and they got you going, and you probably played them for years until you moved up the ladder, just like these guitars. But then once in a while there's like, wow, they put the effort and made this gold mine and a good quality kit, and it's sitting amongst all these other ones, and you think it's a cheapie. That's why I always buy these, so you recognize them after a little bit. So is this one a gem? I don't know. I've heard complaints and I've seen videos where these guys where they couldn't even turn it on without it just going nuts, like feeding back. But this thing, as soon as I plugged it in, it sounded great. So good enough for me. Yeah. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Good enough for my noise. Anyways, that's my take on these. Whether it's made in China, I don't know. It doesn't say anywhere on it. I would imagine it is, but $300, I'm happy with it. Like I say, I can go like this and there's no slicing of my hands on the frets. They're not sharp. They're perfect. So, nothing wrong with it. I just have to get used to this style of guitar again, because I don't play my Epiphone that much either. It's just nice to have one in there. So that's my take on it. And if you're looking for something to hot rod, turn into a rat rod. That's what I call this. It's going to be my rat rod. You know, you buy it. It's got a good foundation to start with. Then you can change a couple things at a time. Right now the pots are fine to me. This is fine. Pickups obviously is, I'd like to try different combinations of that. I got a friend that's selling some real Les Paul pickups. He went with more dirty sounding ones, so I'm going to probably snag those and try them in, see if it works. I'm going to raise and lower the pickups again. I've been playing around with that already, and that's made sound changes, so it's all different things to make it sound better, but it stays in pretty good tune. I got new strings on it, so I haven't really stretched them that much, so, but I played it for 2 days with the strings that were on it. Worked great. It stayed in tune. I might change the gauge again. it's a little bit out, just because I'm bending new strings, but that's a scoop. I don't know. I mean, obviously, the Gibson snobs are going to kill anything that's not a Gibson, so they're going to basically jump all over it and beat it to hell. So, but just from a hack guitar player that likes to write music and play on stage a little bit, and I'm also a drummer. That's my main thing, but I don't know. Can have fun with it. I've seen some video guy would say, "I'd never go on stage with that." You know what? When we were kids, we went on stage with whatever we could find. I remember grabbing 60s guitars with this giant mahogany neck and a headstock that looked like a tennis racket on the end, and playing those on stage just for fun. And it was just fun. You know, you got through it. So you move up the ladder so you can buy whatever you want. But as a stepping stone to something better, I don't think there's anything wrong with one of these. So maybe I got a lucky one. I don't know. Maybe people out there got ripped off, but I don't know. It's got a truss rod in it. It's adjustable. So can't go wrong. Anyways, that's my 2 cents. Runny nose and all. Okay, we're back. This is the Epiphone Les Paul that I have. And I like the neck better on the other one. This one I find just a hair wider, maybe. Just I don't know, just something a little more clunky about it. And this one I can't. It's got Grovers on it, and it doesn't want to stay in tune. Playing the same lick, that's how I kind of I get used to. This is kind of how I test out the sound when I first pick up a guitar. I mean, the finish is beautiful on this. It's probably, I mean, it's a bit dirty. I bought this used off a friend too. Same price, I think $300 with a hard shell case. The other one came with a hard shell case, but kind of not as good a quality. So on the China Les Paul, I kind of lose in the case, but on the guitar, I don't know. It's kind of the same. I didn't get the pick guard. This has still got the plastic on it, so that's why that little mark is there. But it's still got the plastic on it. Yeah, I don't know. I find this one a little bit harsh. So I might want to bring those pickups down in height just a little bit, experiment with that, because they are up higher than the other one. I don't know, the other one has a little more snap to it. This one just doesn't. I'm using the same settings, same pedals, and I find this one doesn't have the presence the other one had. missing too. I don't know. They're so close. So the China knockoff one, like I would say the binding on here is probably well, it's done exactly the same pretty much. This one might be just a smidge, maybe just a smidge nicer. I don't know what the nuts are, if they're bone or plastic. I think they're both plastic. So that would be something to switch out. Yeah. The sound of this one. It's my not go-to guitar. I like playing it. I don't like the sound of it, so I think adjusting these pickups down. I just find the high end a little bit annoying with this. And I'm trying not to adjust the amp, because that amp sounds fantastic with all my guitars, but this one. So, and the China one a little bit, because like I say, I know they're totally different beasts, but I like to know right out of the box if it can stay with my settings, or do I have to readjust them for the guitar a lot. So I'm not crazy about that. And some might say, well, that's kind of dumb, it's a different guitar, but still, right at the starting, I should be able to get some kind of sound that I love, but I just don't get it with this guitar. That's not bad there, but anyways, that's Scoop. I have two of these now, Les Paul clones, and I like the China one better. This one's probably just a smidge heavier. That's just like a best guess. Quality control, though, I can see a little goof up right there. The binding is still beautiful. The top is beautiful. Everything is beautiful about this guitar. The fretboard's a little bit dry, so I've had this for a little while, and like I say, I don't play it too much. It's kind of a hanger right now, but needs a good cleaning. I'm going to put heavier strings on this. These got 9s on them right now. I don't play 9s except for one guitar, and that's my G&L Telly. So I like to go to 10s or even a little bit more. there, so it needs a setup. Anyways, so that's where we are. We've got 2 Les Pauls, and the one is like a truly wow factor, but the China one, or the Chibson as they say, I like. I'm definitely going to be playing that upstairs a lot because it sounds good on the smaller Vox amp up there, and I love it. So this one I'll play around with a little more, lower the pickup, see if I can get a little of the honkiness out of it. I'm not really fond of that. Still a nice guitar, and you say $300 for this one, $300 for that. I can't go wrong. I've got lots to start with if I want to modify it and have some fun with. Thanks for watching.